All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we are doing The French Dispatch, written and directed by Wes Anderson. A love letter to journalists set in the outposts of an American newspaper in a fictional 20th century French city that brings to life a collection of stories published by the French Dispatch magazine. This movie has a 75% critic score and a 76% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Came out in 2021. This is one of the newer rewinds we've ever done. Comedy, drama. It's an hour and 47 with special guest and Wes Anderson pro, Spencer.
Hey.
Hey, what's
Chris
up,
Anderson
guys?
pro.
Your work. I don't know if I'm a pro, but
Hey, yes, sir.
I think that's his lover, honestly, man.
he's actually in my bed right now.
How many
That
Wes
camera.
Anderson movies do you think you've seen?
I've seen 4.
That's a pro.
Name him, bro.
Yeah, that's a pro.
Well, hey, you've seen those 4 a couple times each.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
That is true.
Are you
That's
like
pro in my
are you
book.
like the guy that watched Captain Marvel a whole bunch of times, like, but you're like this movie?
That article was actually written about me. I saw it 97 times.
Okay,
Nice.
Yep.
okay.
Different reasons than rewatching it.
You guys know that where Iggy Azalea is freestyling on Sway in the Morning, and then
Oh,
the guy
where
calls
the guy
in?
calls in John from
He's like-
Tennessee.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
that shit off the mic. That's how I feel about this movie. Honestly, I'm kind of pissed. I'm
Oh,
kind
you
of
like
pissed.
it?
I'm kind of pissed we
I
watched.
thought that was going in a way different direction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I spent an
same.
hour and 47.
I thought you were going to say you
wasting my
loved
life.
it.
Get that shit off the airwaves. Yeah.
Well, you end up watching French, or not French, the
Grand
Grand
Budapest.
Budapest Hotel?
No, not yet.
Are these supposed to be connected? They're
No,
not supposed to
no.
be connected, right?
No.
No,
I mean,
Did
the
Wes
cast
Ander-
is the
did
same.
Wes Anderson do Grand Budapest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a
Makes
good
sense.
one. This one was
it's
kind
one
of
of the best movies.
Yeah,
I've
it's-
ever
Is it another cameo fest like this?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not cameo
Yeah.
fest. It's just that's the cast.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I mean,
like William
Should-
Dafoe.
should we-
It's just a stacked.
Yeah,
roster.
should we talk about the cast really quick, just to start it
Yeah.
off?
Yeah.
You want to
okay.
name them?
Before-
all right, everybody
we get
name
into it-
everybody name their favorite cast member.
Wait, hang on. I want to say before we do.
No,
get
we're not
into
going to
it,
say them on.
What was funny about it, because again I knew nothing about this just going into it, you would like hear someone talking with the paper going in the background and be like, wow, that sounds a lot like Bill Murray, and then boom, Bill Murray, and then you're like, this guy sounds like Owen Wilson, boom, Owen Wilson on a bike, and you're
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm in it.
I don't even think Josh should read everyone because literally every single you're gonna be reading for a damn hour.
Yeah, there's so
Fumble
many.
the words, come on, Josh.
Yeah.
No,
let's-
nope, I would
let's
say I'm
see
all
you
right.
do the best.
Do you want me to read them?
Yeah,
No.
I can. It doesn't matter.
No,
All right.
everybody. Just
I'm
name
not going to
their
read
favorite
everyone.
cast- Everybody just name their favorite cast member. We'll start with that.
Okay,
Is this
should I
movie
go?
alone?
This movie alone.
Like what
I'll
they
go
did?
first. I'll go. If I had to pick one, I'd go Leia Zadu.
I wonder why.
Who'd you say? Leia Sudo?
Yeah.
the guard, the Jill.
Hey, that was mine, so
Nope,
You know,
you have to
told
pick
Josh
someone
to
else.
watch this. I asked him when he
Damn it,
watching
that was
it.
mine too.
That was
Snapchat,
mine.
only that-
Spencer, don't expose me.
It's the only Snapchat I got from Josh.
No, no.
Wow.
some of his pants off.
Hey, Sydney, if you're listening, close your ears.
Oh, he's already.
It was
in
when
jail,
she was
man.
dressed up as a guard, so.
He's in the dog.
Um,
pound.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
obviously that was her.
I'll go mine. I like Jeffrey Wright a lot. I think he
Yeah,
did a really good job.
Fuck
If
yeah.
I had to memorize those lines, like,
Dude, that's one thing that I was gonna bring up later, but like, just this movie in general, even Grand Budapest, like, I feel like this one's a little bit more dialogue centered than Grand
Oh, I mean,
Budapest.
yeah. They
But
did-
like, imagine Jeffrey Wright when he's doing that whole story, like memorizing all that. Obviously, like it's not always on screen, like he's not on camera, so he's doing
It's
like
cut.
ADR and stuff. But even when he's like in the chair and they're cutting back to like them on the stage, like that's insane, dude.
Well, should we
But, I
talk
mean, that's
about?
just acting in general.
Should we talk about like each story? I think that's how we should probably
Yeah,
break
we
it
can-
up.
we can
You
start
guys
off with
want
the
to?
first one, just
Yeah.
going-
Well, let's say this really quick before we get into the stories and break them down. What was your guys' favorite one out of the 3? I guess we should say that first.
I
Mine's
wonder
obviously the
what
first one.
everybody's one's gonna be.
Well, the third
No,
one was
I
actually
mean-
pretty good.
Yeah, despite
Yeah.
despite the model scene and all that, I did like the art story.
I like the
Um,
animation too.
Yep, art story
was
was
cool.
good. I think the second one would probably be. I think it's in order, honestly.
Really?
I agree
Yeah.
with that. On the rewatch, I agree with Aiden. Originally, I didn't really like the second one, but I rewatched it last night and I Had a huge change of
Yeah.
heart. I really like.
No,
that.
I did like the Timothy Chalamet one. I thought that one was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I definitely like the
wonder-
art one better. What?
You like it because he has a musket right underneath his nose too. Just like
He can't even do this, man. Poor guy.
I'm glad.
Call
I
me.
can,
My
man.
agents will get in touch.
I'm glad
Timothy.
I can't do that shit.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Timothy.
All right, shut up.
Chalamet,
Timothy.
Aiden's calling you out. All right.
I am.
Timothy's a
Step
big
up
fan of
Um,
the pod.
So
no, you guys can go ahead. What do you guys think? What order?
I think for me it goes 1, 3, 2.
Okay.
But Mike, what do you think?
Honestly, I think 132 as well. That second one kind of lost me a little bit, especially when the neutral journalist was hooking up with Timothy Chalamet.
Ethical neutrality.
Yeah, that kind of lost me a little bit.
No, I definitely. I think I went in order now. After the rewatch, I go 1, 2, 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean the third one was good, but I didn't think that it was. I broke it up. I watched half of it last night and then finished the rest just a minute ago. But I don't know. I feel like I got kind of lost, and it wasn't like entirely like no one had a crazy ass scene, you know. Like it was just kind of all over the place.
There's a
And
whole
then
nice house scene, man.
So
What?
how many?
There was a
shootout.
whole- yeah, there was like a whole game.
No, I know that, but there's no like dialogue, you know.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
no one gets like a story.
Like,
Like Timothy Chalamet's like going in, he's talking all that. The painter, like he's got a whole arc that he goes through. We get Willem Dafoe in the third one, and that's when we
Again,
see Edward Norton too.
on the scene as always,
Yeah,
just like you did.
and
in
it,
the-
I just felt like that one was kind of all over the place. Like the kid, like yeah, that was good, but like even when they get to like him locked up behind the door, which was one of my favorite shots, when the one girl's outside,
Singing
like the
to
hooker or whatever. Yeah, she's just singing about a lullaby, but the kid's on the other end of the door and the camera's just behind it, showing you the two sides.
Yeah.
I thought that was sick.
She had a good voice too.
Yep,
Mhm.
that's
I'm not gonna lie, man. There is like a whole bunch of parts in this movie in each act where I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like I had absolutely no idea sometimes what was going on, but I just went along with it.
What parts?
Like 80% of them. Like I was just like, "What is going on?"
Once you
Man?
watch more of his movies, you just see like it's just all like just unique.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the
and that's
style.
also bad that Mike's first Wes Anderson movie was The French Dispatch. And I remember when this
Yeah.
originally came out, it got bad reviews. And I mean, I can see why. I just
Yeah,
feel like,
Budapest had 90s and this one was 75. Just
but you also got to take
Yeah.
in consideration that the Grand Budapest ties together at the end. And this one
Yeah.
kind of ties together at the end, but it does feel all over the place.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
what I
really
thought was
quickly,
gonna
though-
happen.
I was
I was
just
gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
what I thought was gonna happen was all of the writers were gonna have their own like chapter, and it was gonna be like something at the end that ties in all together, not just
Mhm.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
'cause
like-
ended up showing like 12 different writers.
Yeah, like
We
why
only got
show all of
3
them?
different stories, yeah.
You know, but
But I mean, we'd have a 5-hour movie if we did that.
Yeah.
But like out of all the sections, I do want to say, starting off with the cycling journalist, I really like that. It really set the tone for it, and then that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I think the first one was just so fucking good because they rolled together so well. And then you start with that art story, and to get to it, I think the best part though is when he does it on the walls and he realizes it, and he's like, "Well played!" Like all he wants to succeed in is like failing,
Adrian
basically.
fucking Brody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that shit was the best. But
Hell
it was weird though too, because right from the jump, it like sets up almost like a play, you know, like out of nowhere, it's like as if you're sitting there in the front row of the audience, and then boom, the play starts. The lady instantly throws the rug out, starts beating it, and everyone starts carrying on with their day. And then
Yeah.
from there, you see it break down into these different parts, which is why I think Grand Budapest was better. That actually felt more like a movie, you know. But I like the idea behind what they were trying to do with this.
That's really it. Yeah, this was just a really unique and pretty sick concept for a movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, should we go through like the first story and kind of what we liked, what we didn't like?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's start from minute 1 and go all the way to minute 147.
Well, you know, for copyright issues, we shouldn't do that. But
Just replay the movie.
They're gonna take us down.
yeah, really. So what did you guys think of? I guess just the first act, the first story. What were your guys' favorite parts?
the
What
first-
parts did you
the-
not really like?
The intro I loved, honestly, with the waiter running up from the sidewalk going up the steps, and they kept showing the different shots, and like it obviously doesn't match up because he's going up the stairs on this side of the screen and completely onto the
Ends
other
up
side
on
of
the
the
top
screen.
right.
Yeah, and I love the little, I don't know, this is just really nuanced, but as soon as he walks in the door to the, I don't know, what is it, the French Dispatch building, I guess, he takes a little shot of water because he went up 7 flights of stairs. I don't know if he but on the tray he had like all like the meals and the drinks, and he just had like a little shot glass of water for himself because he had to run up all the flights of steps.
Can we talk about how Flash was in was the old Moses? I didn't get that, honestly. Like I understand, like, but that was him in year 1, and then the new actor in year 11 was the guy that played
Del Toro.
but like that was way too big of an age jump, I think, in the just 10 years. Like,
Well, so he was in Grand
Yeah,
Budapest
he
too.
was the main character in Budapest.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
Good
it's cool to
actor.
see him in this.
Great actor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wes Anderson likes him a lot.
The cycling reporter, like Brian said, I felt like that was like a great way to kick off the movie. Was Owen Wilson just riding his bike through the city,
Through the town.
Yeah, just telling
I
you.
love these shots where he's got like the picture. He's like, it's like an old building, and then he goes, now it's a shopping mall with a parking structure.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
like-
He's saying like how it's like it used to be this building, now it's like a lively shopping mall, and it's just one big gray concrete building. It's like
And even the he's like the future, because that's all they kept talking about, because it ties in obviously to the art, like you guys said. But like the before and after pictures, I thought that
Even
was
that
sick.
little thing where he goes, "You never know what you're gonna hear," and it just sounds like a gunshot and then a scream.
And just
I love the part.
riding next to the bus where he's holding on to the bus. It's clearly just a rolling background. And
Yep.
He rolls right down the subway stairs.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just completely falls. Yeah, no, that's what I like about Wes Anderson, like the way that.
And then it cuts right to him talking to the editors, and he's fixing the bike, oiling the chain back up.
yeah, it's
So good,
He
dude.
crashed and destroyed his bike. Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like the cycling reporter, like that whole part really captured Wes Anderson's style in like beauty for each scene. Like each scene looked like vibrant and really cool. Like that's just artistic style. And to start the movie off like that, I think that was really cool.
And just the contrast from one scene to the next. Like he'll show Owen Wilson, showing like touring Anhui, the city, and it's just all gray. And then once they get into the printing shop, then it's like an actual set, like colorized and everything. It goes back and forth. It's sweet. I love that there's like such a contrast, and I think it really adds to the film.
Yeah. And then the next section is the concrete masterpiece. My favorite section of the movie. Yep.
Obviously.
Benicio del Toro.
Dude, I
one of my
like
favorite
those.
I thought he did a good ass job. You can't even recognize him, honestly.
Yeah, I
No,
thought he
he
was
can't.
fantastic as a prisoner.
Yeah.
I thought he was. I mean, every movie that I've seen from him, I feel like he's casted.
I just think the opening, even when you see him painting the guard, Simone, and then like the bell rings, and then you have no idea what's going on. And you don't even know that he's like in prison. Like, I mean, they just show the outside for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like
And
he's
then
in a gym.
Yeah, then she gets dressed, and then she ties him up in the straitjacket, takes him back to his cell.
I was caught off guard when she smacked all of the paintbrushes out of his head.
Yeah, and then I feel like once you
like,
realize
what
that he's a prisoner and she's a guard, then it kind of makes sense why she did that.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we talk about this too? Well, who was the lady that was giving a slideshow, like a presentation?
Like the TED Talk. I'm glad you brought that up.
Tilda Swinton.
Because the funniest shit out of this whole thing when she was going through it, she was butt ass thinking, she's like, "Oh, that's a picture of me."
Oh, you mean the Sorcerer Supreme?
Yeah, the Sorcerer Supreme.
That's so crazy, man.
Also,
like,
the old lady from Budapest.
yeah, and you forget about I even forgot about that scene, and that was great. And she's like just obviously narrating. They have a narrator for each story.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's obviously the narrator.
About his art,
Yep.
expertise and all the things that he's done, because her presentation's obviously like way in the future
Yeah.
when he was painting. But speaking about the contrast that I was talking about, I don't when they're in the gym and it's time to go, when they flip the light switch and it goes from black and white to color, I thought that was really a really cool idea to kind of change the tone, because
Oh yeah.
painting in the beginning it's just all black and white, and then the bell rings and he flips the switch and it just becomes colorized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of that overall? Because I know they do that throughout the movie, where they'll even swap like ratio like in the for the screen too, like for the size of the screen, just randomly. I mean, I know he always does that, but like obviously changing from black to white to color, that happens a lot throughout the film. So, and sometimes it's unexpected. Sometimes you don't even notice it. Sometimes like Spencer just said, like it's great. So, did you like that, or did you find that annoying, or what did you just think?
On the second watch, I definitely paid more attention to it, like to the specific instances, like when he decided to switch it. I thought was like really cool, trying to figure out like why he went from black and white to color. I thought that was
See, that's the only reason I didn't like it as the first watch through, because I had to like think about it the whole time, and I'm missing the movie because I'm like, why did he decide to switch that? And then, but the one time it really pissed me off was like you get to see the wall for the first time, and then it's in black and white, and you're just like, damn it.
Yep. But then they showed it, and they used like the egg wash or powdered egg or whatever he used to paint it. I thought it was really neat.
Yeah, I like that. That's why I think that it goes in order, man. I think that that's the best story out of the three. Just because it felt long and it felt like once it was done, you felt refreshed. Like not even refreshed, but you just were like, all right, you saw the beginning of the story and the end. I feel like that third one didn't have anything compared to the first one, let alone the second one.
I mean, pointed this out, but I really liked it how they show him in the jail cell when they're giving the backstory and how it goes from the guy that played Zero in Flash. It's like
Tony Rivolo.
Mm-hmm.
How he was sitting in the chair, and then in the same shot, they show him stand up and Benicio sit down, like to show.
He gives him the necklace.
It's him. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like that was
sick.
A really cool way of showing like time jump, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the comedy too in the first part's really funny. I like the part where Adrian Brody goes to the prison to, he's like, dude, we need the painting now. Like, and he's like, I need one more year.
Yeah,
that shit was so funny.
He starts screaming.
Yeah, I need one more year.
I like the part too where Adrian Brody's character kind of realizes that like he lost pretty much, and that like Moses's like will to fail was more than his will to succeed. I guess that's the best way to put it. That scene really stood out to me. I really like that scene a lot.
What about that great wheelchair scene?
Yeah, that chase. That
yeah, because you go right at the beginning, you're obviously seeing his arms like this, and then he's still moving fast as shit, and then they flip the camera the other way, and he's wheeling hard as shit. It's like, all right.
Like trips them both, and they just go flying.
Yeah.
You know aggressively out of the wheelchair goes fucking flying.
Yeah.
Way too aggressive.
Then it cuts to a scene where he's standing up, and then that's obviously when it goes back, and then Adrian Brody goes and like switches on him. He's like, it's a masterpiece, it's beautiful, all that stuff.
Yeah, he kind of came to the conclusion that, hey man, like we're not gonna be able to move this art right now, but it's still amazing and you're like one of a kind.
Yeah, what do you guys feel about them putting it on a what was it, US France or something, or not? It was like Air France, some shit like that. It's just they chiseled it out.
The next Mona Lisa.
Yeah, it's on a moving aircraft.
You know what I thought was
cheesy as hell? When the museum's just in the middle of Kansas in a cornfield. It's just a beautiful museum, and there's just corn stalks right up to the door.
Well, I think that was whose hometown was that?
That's where he convinced his dad to let him
go. Yeah. I thought his Goering was kind of fucking annoying, to be honest with you. I thought it was funny.
I thought that was funny.
I thought that was cheesy as hell.
It's like, stop growling at me.
Yeah, don't growl at me.
Then he goes on to save 9 visitors and like 3 guards or something like that.
Yeah, and that's why he got probation, is because during that fight he saved all the guards.
Yeah, he goes probation for life, but he got his freedom.
Well, that's the funniest shit. Adrian Brody goes outside. He goes, there's a angry mob outside the door, and he goes, and then he opens the door, and the shot cuts to his face. Like no one's out there, and then it literally turns the other way, and there's just all guys standing there.
He says,
"What do we do? Lock the door."
They tear the wall down.
I think Adrian Brody, no surprise to me, because he's one of my favorite actors of all time, but I thought he was amazing in that. Like he had so many like little like one-liners that I loved.
Yeah.
Like when he goes to buy it and buy the first painting, and he says, "I want 50 cigarettes." He goes, "No, how about 250,000 francs?"
Yeah.
He goes 50.
No, he goes, "I can give you a deposit now."
Yeah.
Right. I can give you a deposit. 1 candy.
When they say that the prisoners, they just want their bribe, and he's like, sorry, I didn't bring 6 million francs in singles to bribe them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He just had a bunch of like little like lines that I just loved.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and I like how he gets in the electric chair too and takes a tortured artist to a whole new level and wants the guy to pull the switch on him.
Oh yeah, yeah. And she's like, "Do you actually want me to?" And then he just scurries out of the chair.
Yeah.
I love how Wes Anderson always gives Adrian Brody a great role, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
he's
he
always
always seems like a-
designated on.
Like a frantic guy, you know, like
Yep.
acting on a whim, like acting kind of
Yep.
outright outlandish, you know. But
100%.
he does
He's a
really
good,
Yeah.
he's a really good actor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the delivery
You
when
ever
he's
seen King
showing his that's a great movie. When he's showing his uncles the sparrow picture, the
Yeah.
drawing of the sparrow. Yeah, and he's like, "Can I please have that?" He's like, "Of course not."
Well, how do you
Of
think
course
about
not.
how do you feel about Henry Winkler getting snubbed right there?
That's funny.
There's 2 snubs. I mean, we can go in like towards the end. What you guys think? Like, who got snubbed the worst? So, I mean, that's up to you guys if you want to do it now or later.
I mean, we could do it now since we're on that story.
All right. Well, I'll go first. I'll say Christopher Waltz.
Yeah, just real briefly in there.
Yeah, he's just in the one dinner scene in the Timothy Chalamet one, and like
Yeah.
when he
Yeah,
comes
he's
in, and
the
that's it.
boyfriend that they want to
Yeah,
bring
and you're
down.
literally that entire story. I was waiting for him to show back up, and he never did. Because I remember they
He had,
pushed
like,
him
just
heavy on
one
this
more
movie.
shot when they were showing everybody like try and fix the radio. He was also listening
Yeah.
to the broadcast at the end of that.
Yo,
at that-
but he didn't have any lines.
no,
Was your other snub in that same story, Aiden?
No. I mean, I would maybe give it to Edward Norton in the third. It's between
in the
Edward
third
No one
Norton
in this
and
story?
Dafoe, the third one.
I would
Yeah,
say
okay.
Edward
the
Norton.
kidnapper.
Yeah, because all he is the kidnapper, and that's it.
Yeah.
It just cracked
Well-
me up too thinking about Grand Budapest with Willem Dafoe not saying more than one goddamn word throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's
It's so
all I
good.
can think of.
But he had like the 4th most screen time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That scene of you
Yeah,
skiing down
100%.
the hill.
So
They made him a
good.
badass too. Okay, so let's talk revisions to a manifesto, the second story, with Timothy Chalamet. What did you guys think of that?
McDormand.
So, what did you? Let me ask Spencer
Codry.
first. Spencer, what did you like more on the rewatch that you didn't really like the first time around?
This is kind of like what Brian said a few minutes ago. The first watch, I was definitely kind of just like focusing more on. I didn't really focus on the story as much, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm paying attention to the story. I'm watching the movie, but I felt like the whole Mitch storyline, which is basically like the intro to the chessboard revolution, I caught a little bit more of that than I did the first watch.
Okay.
Because it starts with them just fighting to have access to the girls' dorm.
Yeah.
And then it switches over to like a more like nationwide like revolution. And I didn't really understand like that whole huge jump the first watch, but the second time I definitely really like caught it that it was like they're fighting against the conscription of like young men into the military, and his friend was one of them. And that's kind of what led to it. And that's I feel like I kind of respected the storyline a little bit more the second watch.
Mhm.
I thought that bathtub scene was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
That was good. He's like smoking a black and mild at every scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when he climbs up
How
the fucking
fucking
tower.
old is he?
Timothy Chalamet's 27, and that girl that he hooks up with in that scene is 30.
What?
Yeah, she does
Wow.
not look 30.
No way she's 30.
The young
No.
girl with
Years
the
old.
with the bike helmet.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
well, that
30.
makes sense. I think you meant the
Like,
old lady.
Yeah.
You said the
No.
old lady, dude.
I thought you meant the writer, like the.
Well, no, he hooks up with the bike helmet at
Yes,
the end.
yeah, we know that, but
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
thought you were talking about the older lady. I was like,
No,
no,
no.
shot.
What did
She's
he
a good
say?
ass actress.
Yeah. There was like a conversation between them when they were like kissing and he was smoking or she was like licking a lollipop. He said something and then she's like, "Take your clothes off." What did he say before that?
I'm
You guys
shy
know-
of my new muscles.
Yeah.
That's what he keeps calling back to. I don't know if he says it in that scene, but
Oh my gosh. He said something and then she just replied, "Take your clothes off," and I started busting out laughing. I forgot what it
Yeah.
was.
oh, you're talking about the end when he hooks up with the biker chick
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
bed. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he goes me. He's like narrating it. He's like, yeah, me shy of my new muscles.
I know, but he
And then
said
she
something.
replied, "Take your clothes off."
Take your
Yeah.
clothes off.
Yeah, he says new muscles and manifesto about 10 times each.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
When he came out with the gas mask, I know we talked about the scene
That shit
earlier.
was great.
Yeah, with Christoph Waltz. That scene was funny. I like
Oh, yeah,
that scene.
because she
and
just
then
comes,
she's,
she
like,
goes.
so, like not wanting to talk to Christoph Waltz, that then she goes and puts the gas mask on a jacket in a half second, and it's just like, all right, we'll see you guys later.
Was she kept calling herself a non-affiliate, or what was she saying? Neutral.
Yeah,
Yeah, neutral.
journalist,
Yeah.
Yeah, ethically,
Neutral journalist.
ethical neutrality.
Yeah.
She's trying to maintain while she's having sex with the guy she's writing
Yeah. And then the one of the best scenes is when he's shirtless in her bed and he's like writing his manifesto and she's typing away, and then a knock at the door comes and he's like, "Who was it? It was your mother." He's freaking out. He's like, "What?" He's like, "She's okay with this?" Like,
Tell her I was here, and she goes,
Yeah.
"Of course I did. I'm
Yes.
not
yeah. And then he goes, "How is she so calm about it?" Shit's funny.
And then at the end of that, he's like looking over. He's like trying to see what she's typing.
Yeah, she's covered it.
What did you guys think at the end of that story? Of this story?
Caught me off guard. It definitely caught me off guard for sure. But I mean, like the second
Yeah.
he was climbing up the tower, I knew that like something bad was gonna
See,
happen.
I thought he was
I
just
just-
gonna
Yeah.
jump to like be that type of artist, but like, I can't live in this world. So for him to get electrocuted,
Yeah, but he
it's
stayed
like,
up there for
alright.
like what, a whole entire
Yeah,
day?
He fucking smoked half
Motherfucker's smoking a black
he
and
smoked
mild,
half a
man.
black and mild up there, dude.
Yeah, I know. I
He
was
was
looking at
looking
that. I was
down
like,
and
all right,
then
it was
looking
already
back
half,
up.
and then he had a full one. I was like, all right, maybe they should have just shown him light a new one.
What do you guys think of Wes Anderson's decision not to like actually like show it and just to have like the almost cartoonish like electrical
Just the.
I
Like,
think
they
it
had the
worked for this
electricity in the
movie.
background. I liked it.
Yeah, instead of actually
Yeah.
having.
I don't
like,
know.
Timothy
I'm a sucker for like when like live action shit does like an animated thing like that, especially when it fits. And
Exactly,
this was
yeah.
one of those movies, so like I was not like upset with that by any means. That it was a good choice.
definitely,
Same
I really
thing,
felt
Yeah.
like,
the same thing with
but
the
I
chase.
could also
of the
see why
second-
people
or
wouldn't really
the-
like that.
Mhm.
You know what, Spence, too? If I saw that like in a normal movie with a normal director, I'd be like, what the hell was that? But with Wes
Exactly,
Anderson, I didn't even give it a second thought. I was like, okay.
I think that's
Makes
why
sense.
Mike maybe not liked it as much because we watched Budapest already. We kind of saw like how he directs and like like you said. I mean, it definitely will catch you off guard if you didn't really know what his style was like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the way you guys were talking about it, man, I was like, is this movie gonna be like a movie that's gonna make me think and fucking like it's supposed to be like a cinematic like masterpiece, and I'm peanut brain and I'm not getting like what am I missing?
No, that's like, but like you just watched this one and you can tell like Wes Anderson, it's like more of like how it looks. Like it's all about the setting. Everything's like practical effects. Obviously, like all these stage settings and all that stuff is
My fault.
all the stage, like it's all art. And then he has that like where you think it's serious and then it has some kind of comedic relief after it. So
Yeah.
that's
the
his
stories
way of being
themselves
funny.
are not usually hard to follow. It's more so he just focuses on like creating like and visualizing these
Like
these
a world,
stories in
basically.
a unique way.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the third story, the private dining room of the police commissioner. What do you guys think of that story?
Jeffrey Wright is the fucking goat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was excited when I saw him, dude, because I didn't know the cast. I knew Timothy Chalamet was in it, but I didn't know the
Yes.
cast at all, and I was excited to see him.
Like I said, when it first came out, I remember obviously it's a stat cast, but I didn't look at it before I watched it, and that was a great like because it's like the third and final story, and then you get him in there. I'm like, hell yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's like,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, there's the usual suspects like Bill Murray and everything. Like those people will be in it, but
Yeah, and like Owen Wilson. I didn't expect Owen Wilson to have as much of a scene as he did, especially because he was just a cameo concierge
Mhm.
in Budapest. But I mean, he has had his starring roles in Wes Anderson movies before. But yeah, no, that was a surprise. But I mean, Jeffrey Wright, I feel like he's almost on that Willem Dafoe level where it just steals the scene. Like that's
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Well, he's just a great
He's-
narrator, so
fucking Jim.
I'll listen to a
Gordon.
fucking book with him in it. But what was I gonna say? One thing before we get into the third one that we didn't mention, the one of the prison guards in the first story was the guy that's at the opening of Inglourious Bastards. You know the guy, the French guy that's in the main room talking to Christoph Waltz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the great scene where he breaks up. Where he's the one holding the people in his basement.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
so he's in there.
the French milk farmer, the dairy
Yeah,
farmer.
yes, sir.
I was
The
so
dad.
worried he was about to bring up Christoph Waltz. I was like, dude, we talked about that.
No.
I was gonna say it as a joke, but he beat me to it. Yeah. So the third story, I guess, I know. I think Aiden and Spencer rated it last. So what? I guess what did you not really like about the third one?
Go ahead, Spence.
I don't. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I'm gonna say that for sure.
You said you hated it.
See, you always
Off
do
camera.
this shit, bro. Someone put something in the last. Like, so why did you say that you hate that?
I gotta build drama.
Can you pull up those transcripts because I don't think that.
Well, yeah, run
I
it
wasn't
back,
recording
run
at the
it
time.
back.
You're gonna have to take my word for it. No, but what did you like least about it compared to the other
Hey,
stories?
can I take
guess?
this one? Because I also think the third one's in last.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just feel
Yeah,
like,
sure.
you know how Mikey was saying, like, how this movie got, like, confusing? That was one, like, where I looked at my phone for a second, looked back up, and I was like, what the actual fuck is going on? Like, I had to rewind it to actually understand it.
Yep.
And then even once I understood it, I was like, well, I don't even know. Like, I feel like the other two were better than that. And then for it to be the last one, it's kind of like, ooh.
It should have been the middle one.
Yeah. You know
Probably.
what really got me was the WWE fucking guy with the belt.
Yeah, they don't even. They show him in live action for once. He just wakes up. He gets a phone call. And then he wakes up. You see his belt.
And
You're
then he
like, all right, what the hell is this
swan
guy
Tom
gonna
bombs
do?
off the fucking top of the,
Then he
the
survives.
layer, and he survives it, and then
Yeah.
he dies at the end, right? Is he?
No, he survives.
Oh, he flips off it, yeah. The
yeah,
fucking
he
cliff.
does some
and
superhero
he
shit.
lands like he's fucking Thor or something. Like
That's
that.
another thing that I didn't like about that third one was the animation scene. I feel like it's good.
Oh, I love
but
that.
That was cool.
It just felt so long, and that's where I got lost.
I wanted
Like,
more
I was
of it.
trying to eat and watch it, and I was like, all right, what the hell happened?
I did enjoy that.
I thought it was good animation.
Yeah. I feel like that adds to the uniqueness and the style of the movie for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I really
but-
like when they show after Edward Norton kidnaps the kid, how they show it as a comic strip, and they said,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we're like release this the next day. And it's
I
just
mean,
like,
then you got to take into consideration that all these are just stories that are going in a magazine. So,
yeah.
Mhm.
you know, so it does make more sense.
Yeah, but
that's
that's
but
also
answer your
How the
question,
fuck do you put that in a magazine?
Well, we're on the
I think, like,
topic though. I did
continue
like.
with-
Oh, sorry, Spence.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Because it's him talking to Liev Schreiber, like as a talk show host, and then him
Mhm.
talking about this meeting that he had with the commissioner of the police, and then it then jumps even more into like the present day with him talking to Bill Murray about it, and I felt like maybe kind of done without the Liev Schreiber and maybe had him just talking to Bill Murray about it instead of him talking about it.
Whoa,
A
Bill,
talk show.
Bill Murray's character
You know
was
what I'm
dead
saying.
at this point. Which is something I want to talk about here. His fucking body was just laying on the table, and everybody was just in there.
That's how I would have wanted it, Mike.
Dude, they go, is anyone
Well,
here?
those are
He
his
was all by
people.
himself. They go, doesn't want someone coming to get him. They go, the people at the morgue are on strike.
No, but
I don't know.
I did like. I mean, all three of them were good, like we said, but 3 was definitely my least favorite. But I just feel like it was too much jumping around. And like you said, Pop, you look at your phone for 1 second and you don't even know where you're at.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one good thing that they went, because when Jeffrey is saying that, like when he's doing that story, obviously, and Liev Schreiber stops him, he's like, hang on, let me take a mental bookmark or whatever. And I was like, all right. Then he just kind of goes on, and I mean, it's like there's just so many different faces in that third one.
Yeah, there is.
And I can't really compare it to the first 2.
I'd say overall, it just seems a little bit too compressed into like
Yeah.
one segment. Like it almost
And
felt
it
like
felt-
it could have been like a whole movie, and they just try and compress it to the last like 30 minutes.
And I think it was the longest out of the 3.
Let me counter that though. Like, is that not what the first 2 did as well? Compress the whole story into one 20-30 minute segment.
Yeah, but I think they did a better job than the third one.
Yeah, basically that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I was just
there was so much in the art one where you go from start. Obviously, you see the transition. He's in prison, how he's making the art, and why Adrian Brody wants to buy the art from him. And then like because it's the future. It's modern art. Like that's the creation of modern art right there.
okay.
And-
So Aiden, be honest. That story, the last one, didn't have nudity, and that's why I don't like it.
That's why you
it's
didn't
going
like it.
last.
It's my second favorite, actually.
Why do you like the third one better than the second one?
Why do you like the first one better than the third one if it's your second favorite, Josh?
Why do I like the second one more than the fourth one? Was that your
No.
question?
Idiot.
Why do you like?
Why are we
Well,
saying
that bad.
why so much?
He said that the third one is the second favorite, which makes the first one his favorite.
Well-
and why is the first one better than the third one?
Well, why is the third one better?
If a rat's in the house, it's a mouse. If a mouse outside, it's a rat.
How the hell
How you go to sleep in your day?
You wake up alive.
How the hell you go to bed dead, fool?
No, what I liked about the
Because he's dead before he goes to bed. It's the real shit.
what I liked about the third one is I like that animated like segment a lot. Like that was some of my
More
favorite
than the
parts of the
Tetris
movie,
animation?
honestly. Yeah.
I agree.
Hell no.
The Tetris animation almost didn't fit in the movie. I felt like because it was kind of out of nowhere.
Yep.
Like the in between scenes, the transition between scenes
It's
was cool.
Tetris,
but then
bro.
for the car chase, but for the car chase, it was like animated for some.
Okay,
weird
that's
I'm
reason.
one
telling
scene
you,
though. I thought
think-
the animation.
I feel like they
on
filmed
Tetris
that
was way
first.
better.
They filmed that first. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna be like Wes Anderson." And do what he
Yeah,
did.
we're doing
And
a Wes Anderson here.
They did it one car chase, and they were like, "All right, that's it."
Yeah, like that would have been cooler to watch live action. But in this case, I just thought it was really cool. Like the whole, I don't know. And then the kid jumping from car to car, like that wouldn't have really worked that well in live action. But like an animated style looked cool.
I rated Tetris not that good on a scale of 100, and I will say
Mhm.
like, I don't know, like they could do like the animation because this is some like 1950s Wild West type shit where it's like it's awful, like the like the shootout scene. Like, come on, man. Like I get that's his style, but that's the whole reason why the animation looks good is because the live action is dog shit. If I'm being honest with you.
Damn.
Am I wrong?
No, yeah, I think so.
How?
Because, like I said, and I mentioned it before, this is your first Wes Anderson movie. You have to watch Grand Budapest. Your entire opinion on it is going to change.
Honestly, I don't even think he needs to watch a different one. I think if he rewatches it knowing what to expect in terms of the style of the film, I think he'll like it.
Me personally, I don't think I'd rewatch this.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Hey, maybe the first
I would
one.
rewatch Grand Budapest and Fantastic Mr. Fox and
Moonrise
fuck, why am I
Kingdom.
drawing a blank on the other one? The Great Tenenbaums.
I would
That's another good
rewatch
one.
the first story. Other than that, I'm not watching any others.
Why is that?
No further comments. I really
Josh, why would you say
I-
something like that?
I really.
I
like
didn't say that.
It's kind
I
of fun,
agree.
Josh.
No, that first story is just great. Really great. No, so I know we mentioned him earlier, but what do you guys think of like Ed Norton's character? Because he was one of my favorites too in this.
I'll be
third
honest
section.
with you.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
really
really realize that was him until like.
What?
I
Really?
don't. Yeah, I don't.
Until he-
no,
Until he
like,
turned green and had some muscles, he realized it was.
his face just doesn't register.
Until he said a Hulk smash.
No, for me, it was when
Like
he turned
even
into a
in
big-
Glass Onion, it took me a minute to like really recognize him.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I guess I'm just
Give
fucking
me context.
stupid. Yeah, I got LASIK. I don't even need contacts.
Michael,
man.
come on.
It's all right, Brian.
I felt like just
I'll crank it up because every time I look at Pop, it's just like,
What did you say, Spencer?
I said just by his voice when he talked to the commissioner, like saying, "Hey, like we just kidnapped your son." I feel like that was pretty like pretty
that
honest
was
with
good,
Ed Norton.
but he wasn't on screen.
Yeah.
But also, they didn't make him look different than what he normally looks like. I feel.
No, he didn't. No, like,
Yeah, if
Maybe-
anything,
maybe I need to hear Hulk
Grand
smash. I
Budapest.
don't
He's
know
like
what to fucking tell
he's
you
the
guys.
army officer. Like, yeah, I guess you can't really tell with a hat on and shit, but he looks sexy. If you were to point anyone out, I'd be like, that's Edward
It's
Norton.
Edward,
I get-
it's
I-
Edward
I guess
Norton
I
with
was
the
like-
mustache and sunglasses on. And Mike's like, "Who is it?"
the fake nose and the mustache, glasses.
William Dafoe with like I guess I was caught on William Dafoe's character more. I don't know.
Really?
I was
I mean, that's kind of his effect too. I mean, just from the first scene when he's in the chicken coop, and Jeffrey Wright's
Nah.
walking by him, I felt like Willem Dafoe just kind of takes it away.
I was like Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking Great
Titanic.
Gatsby. I was pointing at him. I was like,
that guy.
that's William Dafoe. He's like,
That's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Well, yeah, why wouldn't you do Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
it's not where he's pointing.
That's
Yeah,
Once
it's
Upon a
that.
Time in Hollywood.
I don't give a
Titanic?
fuck.
Oh wait, I said Titanic.
Yeah, you said Titanic.
You said
Great Gatsby's still 15 years before, or 10 years.
No.
Great Gatsby's the one where he's holding the
Yeah,
champagne
he's holding
glass.
the champagne glass. Yeah.
He's not pointing.
Hmm. No, that's Django.
Oh, my bad.
It's not. I'm just kidding.
Django's a hammer.
Yeah, he does them in all his movies. Actually, no, isn't it Wolf of Wall Street?
It's Great
amazing.
Gatsby.
Great
Anyway.
Gatsby, he raises the glass.
No, the pointing is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 100%.
Whatever. dude. Fucking get rats in houses and mouse.
Let's not do that again.
What do you guys think of when, like, obviously when it that third story concludes, it's Willem Dafoe, like he's locked in the chicken coop, and he's what do they say? He was like malnourished for like a week. He didn't eat.
Yeah,
They're, like,
they
trying to
forgot
revive him,
him, didn't get him
basically.
until Monday morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, Monday morning.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
that was good.
Yeah, so let's talk about the obituary scene where we lose Bill Murray. Sad as that is.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Rest in peace, my guy.
I know it happens earlier in the movie, but the part where he fires that kid
That's
and he
funny.
looks up and
That shit was
he's
funny.
crying.
There's no
That shit was
crying in my
funny.
office. It just pans up.
This is unrelated. This is just a question that I wanted to ask you. I didn't look it up at all. I noticed this when I rewatched it. Is that for my people who've watched Ted Lasso? Is that the guy that plays Will, or is he just a white kid that looks like him? You know the
It did look like him actually.
the
when you said
new
that.
the new kit manager, and since Nate left in Ted Lasso. Is that
Oh,
him?
dude, it might be. But also, it could just be another skinny little white kid.
Who's
Yeah.
that? Are you talking about Alex Lothner?
I don't.
Lothar?
We don't know names
He's
The
not
guy
here.
sure.
from
But I do love that scene
Black
too,
Mirror.
with when he fires him, and right above him on the wall is the no crying. That's the one rule of
Yeah.
the office, and he just starts crying, and Bill Murray's like,
He just shuts the door.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is Elizabeth Moss is like one of his close people, like in the magazine or whatever company they work for.
Yeah, she's
And-
the grammar person.
Yeah, and I feel like she
Dispatch.
doesn't like she's kind of she doesn't have any like main parts. She kind of gets snubbed.
Yeah, she's just in those like cut scenes where they go back to the actual.
Yeah,
I do like.
Well, that
too,
goes back
though-
to.
What were you saying, Mike?
I was gonna say that goes back to kind of what I was saying though. Like I wish, like obviously we don't want like a 6-hour movie, but like we only seen 3 of the stories of the
Yeah.
10 writers that were there.
I think they said there was 14.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Yeah, no. 2 things I just want to say real quick. I love at the ending, like he's dead and they're all sitting there as he's laying across the desk, which is very fucking funny. But they instantly all just go to work. They're like, all right, well, time for the final press. And like the guy's like, all right, I'm going to start on the illustrations. And the other person's like, I'm going to go
Yeah.
get ready to do this. And they're just like that. And then 2, Mike, with that being said, of how they go to these shots and there's other great actors and actresses around that just aren't being used. I do wonder now for what's his new movie, Asteroid City?
Yep.
I wonder if all those
Coming out in a
big
month.
names that we're gonna see who are just
A
gonna
month?
be like in the background, not really actually doing shit.
yeah.
Yeah, because they show ScarJo, Steve Carell, Tom Hanks,
Mhm.
like all in this trailer, and I mean,
Damn.
you just got to go into it knowing that you're only going to get 10 minutes of each of these people.
Yeah, you might
Willem
just get
Dafoe's
their
gonna
face
show
and
up.
not even say a word like Henry Winkler.
Did anybody watch Ghosted?
No.
No.
No, never mind. Oh, you guys, dude, you gotta watch it just for the pure cameos that you're gonna see. You'll know what I'm talking about.
I don't know if I want to watch that shit.
You want me to tell you who they are?
No.
No.
I'm gonna watch it. So.
All right.
You know what? Let it
We'll
fly.
Yeah,
watch
so-
those.
Kind of.
Yeah. So I can. You guys want to get?
Well,
the
real quick,
movie
you
trivia?
just mentioned the scene where they're all in the writing room or his office, and then when
Oh, they
it's
eat
like,
cake.
right when it starts, yeah, like who wants cake? He's like, ooh, I'll take a piece.
Don't like the
Then
candles.
they're all like,
Don't like the candles. He's dead.
yeah. That shit's funny though.
But yeah, let's get into movie trivia, and then you guys can stop me if you want to talk about anything. In casting Timothy Chalamet,
All right, so
Timothy Chalamet, Wes Anderson told GQ, "I never had an inconvenience of ever thinking of anybody else for the role, even for a second." So the role was written for him specifically. That's pretty cool. Like to go into a Wes Anderson movie with
I
him
think
writing this.
Amazing.
I think it
What'd you say?
definitely fits him well.
I said,
fits him? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he fit that role perfectly.
Yeah.
Aiden
so
Aiden was a stuntman with that damn rat tail underneath his nose.
No, they wouldn't let me. It's too much better
Too
than
bigger
Timothy
than him.
Chalamet.
Oh, yeah, too much better than Timothy Chalamet.
Yep.
Great.
Production designer Adam
It's fine. They would have
Stockenhausen.
revised it either way.
Production designer Adam Stockenhausen began location scouting process using only Google Maps. Can you imagine that? That's
How
pretty
would
funny.
You.
Yeah. I'll get on it, Wes. Let me look some stuff
Shit,
up.
it saves money, I guess.
Hey, it was COVID times. He couldn't leave.
That is true.
An atypical for a movie poster, the assembled cast is grouped by storylines rather than billing.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, so if you check on the thing, it says Owen Wilson starring in it.
really has.
I looked earlier actually because I thought that was
I
pretty
feel
cool.
like that's totally what we're gonna see with Tom Hanks in this next movie. Like, his name's on there. He's gonna get like maybe an opening, maybe an ending, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. This is Wes Anderson's 9th collaboration with Bill Murray, his 8th collaboration with Owen Wilson, and his 7th collaboration with Jason Schwartzman.
Nice.
Nice.
Pretty crazy.
Very good,
That's what we've
very
been
good.
talking about. He brings back his guys. He likes working with these guys. So I assume they show up in the new movie.
Does that mean Bill Murray's been in every single one of his movies then?
I believe so.
I've
Pretty sure does voicing for
I don't think he has
Fantastic
much
Mr.
more.
Fox.
Well, yeah, I think Wes has more than 9, doesn't he? Probably. I think probably 11 or 12. I don't know. I looked the other day, but I forgot how many films he had. Although Timothy Chalamet is fluent in French, he delivers all his lines in English.
10 movies.
Sweet.
Which-
Good. I don't want to hear that Parlez-vous vager type shit, bro.
Ooh la la.
Say that shit. Oui, oui.
C'est la vie.
Say pussy.
All the cast explained that working on this movie was the most exhilarating, challenging, and fun thing they've ever done with a movie. Pretty cool. The film received a 9-minute
Is it because they had to
standing.
wear masks?
I don't know. The film. I wasn't there, man. I just read this shit. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, listeners. The film received a 9-minute standing ovation at Cannes Film Festival.
Those are some real dick suckers right there.
Yeah, man, that's some
Oh,
real-
Wes.
Does not seem surprised.
Every movie or film that gets shown at Cannes Festival always gets a standing ovation. I think one of them, what was it, Blonde, got a 10-minute standing ovation.
Yeah.
Like, bro, your hands gotta fucking hurt at that point. Like, just give that shit up.
How are you clapping 10 minutes for a movie like that? Like, how could,
Well,
how could
motherfucker,
anybody...
hey, there was clapping all throughout the entire movie.
Mike, you did that for Endgame.
Endgame, you took your shirt off and you're standing there go, woo!
Yeah, Mike did. He was like, fucking-
He goes, Hulk's back, baby!
Yes! Oh, shut up.
The movie was originally thought to be a musical, but Wes Anderson denied it before filming began.
Thank God.
And this last one's my favorite. Leah Seydoux didn't know about this film's nudity when she was offered the role. Wes Anderson first talked her into the nudity when she arrived on set. Can you imagine that?
What a
That's a
freak.
horny
Hey, I know we
motherfucker,
signed you
man.
onto this role, but you got to be naked in most of your scenes.
She walked into her first day, it's just the casting couch.
What'd you say, Spencer?
I said, and it's like just like full frontal nudity too. It's
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, multiple
What is
scenes.
this Wes
Yeah,
Anderson
Bush and
character
everything.
look
Josh
like?
would say that it's peak cinema. I heard him say it before we hit record.
I knew that was going to be his favorite fact too. Like
This is
once he said this was his
100%.
favorite, you knew it had to be.
No. It was just I just thought it was funny
Whose
that
pick
he
was
brought
this?
it up.
I don't even think it was your pick, Spencer. I think it was Josh's pick.
I think this was Josh.
I know.
I never
but
seen
then,
it. I
But
just
then
heard
he
about
gave
the
me
nudity.
shit for Stanley Kubrick movies.
Well,
No, he's a fan. No,
Well,
there's actually.
There's a difference, bro.
Your
Kubrick-
movies
Kubrick
all had
over the
orgies
top.
in them, and yeah. But
So was,
yeah.
The Watch.
Do you guys want to get into scores?
let's do it.
Yeah,
Have
sure.
Mike-
Also, I just looked up
Want
what
me to go?
Wes Anderson looks like, dude.
Hmm.
Didn't know that he looked like that.
It looks like he goes to Wayne
Yeah.
State.
He looks like he'd play a starring
He
role.
looks like a 35-year-old
He
Justin
does,
Bieber, man.
That's kind of what I was
I'm
thinking.
pretty sure I've seen this guy before.
Him like
You would honestly be good in a Harry Potter movie.
Fucking Harry Pothead.
Yeah.
You're looking motherfucker.
Nah.
All right, go
But,
ahead. Mike.
you guys, real quick, you want to say your favorite scenes?
I already
We all
asked,
know our
man.
favorite scenes.
Oh, I mean, fuck.
Come on, man.
All right, besides that one.
Again, that
I just
Oh,
think
I don't
I
know.
just want to mention the shot of it was in the first one when like they show that the town from behind the fence, and then like right at like a certain time the water starts sprouting, the cat comes out, drinks
dude, you
it,
just ripped
and the
my,
dog's
you just
running
ripped my
around.
whole scene, dog.
Yeah, that's a great scene. It's
Yeah,
one-
and then the lady shaking the rug out over the guy that's sitting underneath. I thought that was good.
That's a great start to
Yeah,
the.
I did like
That's
that.
why I like this tour so much, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead,
yeah,
Mike.
that's all I had to say.
And that's what makes it feel kind of like a play almost, because it's just
Yeah.
100%.
an action and then everybody started
Is
walking.
everyone just gonna rip what I said earlier, bro? Like that's crazy. This is actually crazy.
What? Well, what about the scene where they're all going into the art museum and it's all white? It's all black and then they're just white going in the door. That was a great shot too.
Oh yeah.
I think my
It's
favorite
the
had
little
to be
things, man.
from young Moses to the.
That was good.
I thought that was just really.
I thought that age jump was too much though. Like that was not like he looked like he jumped 30 years, not 10 years.
Motherfucker, you look like you jumped 60.
I know, bro. That's what I'm saying. Look, it's not a good age jump.
Prison hasn't aged him well.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I am kind of mad that I didn't watch any of the of his other movies like Grand Budapest, because I really didn't like this that much, to be honest with you. And it's probably more so just the style and not being used to it. And I think, like Spencer said, that I would probably enjoy it and appreciate it more the second time around watching it. But with that said, I probably will never watch this movie again. I probably will never talk about this movie again, and rightfully so. Besides just the podcast here, but I think it was unique. I mean, the 3 parts, you know, in the end here. I mean, there are some scenes that just completely lost me, and it was kind of hard to follow along in different parts and stuff like that. But I mean, a decent like watch, I guess. Like if you're interested in just like. If you have ADHD, honestly, I think you'd be really amused with this movie because you have no idea what the fuck's going on and things are just scattered left and right. So, really good watch if you have ADHD, man. But
I don't know if that's an apt,
besides that, what'd you say?
I don't know if that's an apt description of ADHD.
What are you talking about when you're like all? What do you mean?
If you have
You could probably say that for most
if you have
movies.
ADD or ADHD and you're watching this movie, you probably hate it.
No, would you love it because it's jumping around and there's so many things going on. Whatever, dude. Anyway, my score is a 65 out of 100. Like I said, this shit was ass. I wish you could play that like that Iggy Azalea clip.
This shit was
John from
ass.
Tennessee, you're on the airway.
Wait, what score did you give it again?
What score?
65 out of 100.
How are you gonna give it a positive score and you're gonna fucking say it's ass?
You like the colors.
Just be honest. Give it what you feel.
It's a 65.
You don't gotta give it
bro.
above 50. Anything if you're
Yeah.
gonna say above, if it's ass, it's gotta be below 50.
Then
That's
it's
just
not
the rules.
ass. Hey, you're
That's not his
negative.
rating.
You're negative bitches, but you're still net positive. So I mean,
It doesn't matter. You can't call something ass and give it a 65.
All right, Aiden, go ahead.
All right.
Show him a real
I like
score.
Wes Anderson. This is definitely not one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies. The story was cool. Like you said, Josh, the first story is definitely one of the best. I'm not sure why, but I did enjoy it. I think that it was good until the third one. I'm not a fan of the finale or the conclusion, whatever you want to call that last act. But I mean, I thought it was a decent story. It came out in 2021, so I would consider this a COVID movie, which kind of makes sense because
Everyone had that.
anything that we
COVID
got,
flu.
like, yeah, it was.
It was
yeah.
shot in 18 and 19, so that's
It was,
that's like
yeah.
before
But it's either
the-
it's either a good or in COVID it was either like a okay story, something that you did at home, or it was a remake, and that's what we got a lot of in this this year, I guess you could say. But I don't know, great cast. I feel like some great actors that had a lot of potential, story wise and dialogue wise, got snubbed. But all in all, I mean, it was a good watch. Like I said, I don't know if I'd rewatch it. Definitely Grand Budapest is still my favorite. Royal Tenenbaums definitely second. But I feel confident giving this one an 80 out of 100. Solid 80.
I think I'm right there with Aiden. Honestly, I'll go next.
Camera work was great though. I'll give him that.
I'd say probably like a 75. A solid, decent movie. I think I only rewatched it just because we were doing this pod, and I watched it like 6 months ago for the first time, so I need to freshen it up. But I think Wes Anderson has like such a unique style. I watch all of his movies. I love pretty much every movie that I've seen by him. I think the whole story as a whole, as like a newspaper, and then going through each different article was really cool idea. It just I didn't love the third article as much as the first two, so it did kind of fall off just because that was the third. I wish he might have switched it around, just because as a conclusion, I feel like you want to end stronger, and that one was kind of the weakest one in my opinion. But I think 75 solid.
They should have prefaced the movie. Hold up, you see tits at the end, and then put the art.
That's what made everyone stay. They're like, damn, this movie's all right, and then they.
Really quick though, his like the way you're talking about it, like his unique directorial status or style reminds me of like M. Night Shyamalan, like how it's like unique and different compared to like just like most like directors nowadays. I don't know why I thought of that comparison, even though they're pretty different in terms of how they direct.
Yeah, but still like unique nonetheless, like compared to like the norm for sure. I get what you're saying, definitely. Yeah. And I think that's definitely what brings me like, or ties me, or like locks me into the movie more, is just that even if the story kind of lacks at the end, it still is just so unique to like other movies that we could watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, solid 75, I think.
I'm gonna piggyback right off.
Would you say it's ass?
I would say no, it's definitely not ass.
And you give it an 80?
26 points away from being ass.
This movie is dog shit. Nah. So I can't believe this is the same guy that made Scream. That's so crazy. Do you get it? Because Wes Craven made the first Scream.
Just go with your score.
I don't get it. And I don't think any of our listeners get it.
Hey, I'll edit that out.
Please elaborate.
All right, come on. It's different Wes's.
Shut
up,
man.
Man. Just go.
Just go.
I don't want to give a score anymore.
Just give your score and let fucking Josh go.
All right, yeah. So out the gate, I fell asleep watching this the first time. Turned it on the second time, fell asleep again. But the third time I started the movie, I liked it a lot. I'm not gonna say it's better than Grand Budapest by any fucking means, but out the gate, you enjoy it. You get to see Owen Wilson, really sets the tone, like we said. But you go from there, and then it just starts getting real sporadic, and you're here and you're there, and you don't know what the fuck is actually going on. What's a story? You got a TED Talk within a story within the newspaper, and you're like, okay. And then you go in, it's a different story. It jumps. You're like, all right, that's cool. And then you get to by the end of the second story, you're like, all right, this is a cool concept. And then you get to the third story, and you're like, all right, well, that kind of fucking sucked. And for that, I think I can't give it higher than like a 72. I don't think I'll ever rewatch this, but it did give me an itch to go rewatch Grand Budapest, so I'll probably do that as soon as we get done with this. But it is Wes Anderson, so the colors were appealing the whole time. I did enjoy that. And now, maybe look it up what the significance of the black and white was, because again, I did get stuck thinking about that, and I kind of hate myself for that. Couldn't enjoy the rest of the movie.
So Brian, were there any other itches you experienced throughout this movie?
Nope.
Anyway, I'll go.
That's a question for Josh, Mike.
Oh, my bad. Josh.
I'll go.
This is like 101.
No, so this movie was like beautiful. I like the transition from dude, I meant the art style, all right? Get your head out of the gutter, Mike. I like I know we mentioned it earlier, but like switching from black and white to color, I think that worked in this movie. I feel like some movies that kind of annoy me a little bit. Blonde was an example. I don't know, the way I guess the thing I didn't really like too much about the movie was we just didn't have enough time with the characters. I know we mentioned that throughout this review. So it became hard to like get attached to the characters, even remember their names at certain points for like side characters. So with that, I was kind of struggling a little bit, and then there were certain parts like in the second story, and even a little bit in the third, where I was kind of just like losing track of what the hell was happening. So, and I have 2 good reasons, 2 points why I like the first story a lot. But besides that, I'm gonna give the movie a 69. Yeah. I'm gonna give the movie a 69 for no reason. But I almost do. I almost do think I want to rewatch it though, because I did like the Grand Budapest and like Fantastic.
You probably just like
Fox
start it and watch like the first 10 minutes and then
30 minutes. I'll get 30 minutes in and then I'll rewatch that first 30 minutes.
Just get it on repeat. Honestly, if he could cut any part of this movie, it'd probably be the go 30 minutes in and then the rest after that.
Yeah. He's the Captain Marvel motherfucker, but except for the first 30 minutes.
Josh,
I go see it 100
He go with her
times.
immediately.
What'd you say, Spence?
what were those 2 points of the first one?
And,
Anyway.
just say we won't make him stand up.
just
Yeah.
say that he's quoting Kanye. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, he's canceled right now. I'm not.
You
Yeah,
agree.
so-
I like how you say right now.
So that-
I know he's coming back.
Because
He's
he
coming
can focus.
back.
He can focus on 2 things. at
Now,
once.
AI Kanye, if AI Kanye said it, then I'd agree.
Shut up.
Josh, you don't
no,
Adidas
so-
apparel.
No. I think I'm wearing Adidas sweats right now. That was our review for the French Dispatch, our rewind. Go check us out on YouTube. We did this whole review in sunglasses for some reason I cannot see.
Bright
You
as
have the
Thank you,
Adidas
Spencer.
tube sock on.
Thank you, Spencer, for joining us.
Thank you,
We'll have to have you
Spencer.
back for Asteroid City. You're basically our Wes Anderson guy. You're a
Yeah,
pro.
we'll go see that in the theaters too. So that'll be my first Wes Anderson in theaters movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of
I've never
us.
seen
I
one
don't
in
know if any
theaters
of us saw Grand
Take your Wes
Budapest
Anderson
in the theaters.
virginity.
Yeah, that'll be
No.
my points in theaters too.
So,
Can
But,
can we put the John from Tennessee clip at the end of this, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll speak to the editor. Get that in there. They'll for sure make it.
I think it'd be funny.
You definitely want us to do more work.
Extra.
Yeah, I'll throw him some more money.
He definitely
Yep.
He's got a lot of editing to do. All right.
You should see me when I'm listening to these, and it's like Brian saying, like, throw this clip in, and I just like throw my hands up, like, fuck.
Are you telling me that these
All right, I'll
clips
go spend
don't
40
get
minutes
edited?
adding that clip in.
Go.
Yeah, they've been.
Go.
Yeah, just don't go listen to them.
I'm gonna rewatch.
No,
all
but
of them.
thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Spencer.
Yes, thank you, Spencer.
Um,
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Always
appreciate
a
it.
pleasure, gentlemen.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, love you guys.
See you next week. Don't forget we're on all platforms:
Every single platform.
Apple
All of them.
Podcasts,
There it
Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube.
Kindle, we're on the
What are the other
Kindle.
ones? Kindle, we're on Kindle. We're
Kindle.
even at the library. We have tape recordings in like those books.
You can even
So you go and plug
message
'em
us
in
on
and-
Kick. Anywhere,
Yeah, you
anywhere
can
you,
do
want to
anything.
reach us, man.
We
Guys,
have a nice fresh Discord channel, so go to our website, smallguyspod.com. Don't forget that. And bookmark the tab. All our scores are on there. All of our special guests, Spencer's on there.
Omegle.
And get that Discord popping,
Yep.
But yeah,
All right.
2 episodes every week. We'll catch you on the next
God.
one.
And 2 things that Josh was focused on in that first.
Aiden's gonna shout out his grinder and everything. And I'm gonna have to cut all this out.
Yeah, there's a link in the.
Always hit me up on
link on the
LinkedIn. I'm
website.
professional like that. Let me know.